Welcome to Lords on a beautiful summer's evening for some top quality Natwest T20 blast action, as in the southern group, Middlesex took on Hampshire. It was Hampshire who won the toss, and on a dry, warm night, they batted first.
James Vince reminded everyone why he's been called up by England for next week's T20 International by hitting 3 fours off Harry Podmore's opening over. But he was soon walking back to the pavilion. Kyle Abbott celebrating his 28th birthday by claiming the Hampshire skipper's wicket with his first ball of the match. Hampshire were in further trouble when Ollie Rayner trapped Jimmy Adams' leg before, leaving the visitors 27 for 2. But former Middlesex batsman O.A. Shah helped to rebuild the innings with fellow ex-England player Michael Carberry. The two of them steadied the ship as Hampshire entertained the 16,500 crowd at the home of cricket with some extravagant stroke play. Middlesex turned to the spin of Paul Stirling, but Carberry was in his element, regularly going over the infield to find the boundary. O.A. Shah then went into blast mode, launching Rayner over the ropes for 6, was simply the start of the carnage towards the back end of the innings. James Franklin did have Shah caught on the boundary as he skied one up into the air. Well taken in the deep, but it was off a free hit, so the batsman survived. And he went to a second successive half-century against his former county, and he delivered another maximum, this time handsomely hit over long leg. Carberry too went to 50 shortly afterwards, his second of this year's competition, and it took him just 34 balls to the delight of his teammates on the balcony. The boundary continued to be plunged at will as Shah nonchalantly tucked away 4 more as Podmore straight onto leg stump. And then Shah made room for himself and crashed the young seamer through the covers to the fence. At this stage, Hampshire were nearing 150 with 4 overs to go. But the veteran batsman was sent packing in unusual fashion, out-hit wicket as he trod on his stumps. It didn't stem the flow of runs though, Sean Irvine playing the inventive wrap shot to get off the mark in style. Whilst Carberry was seeing it like a beach ball out there, heaving a mighty blow into the grandstand off the bowling of James Harris. But the former Glamorgan bowler picked up the wicket of Irvine later in the over thanks to a wonderful piece of fielding from Andrew Balbirnie, sprinting in from the deep and holding on to a magnificent catch. There was more innovative batting to come though. Adam Wheater bringing out the upright reverse sweep as he continued the trend of hitting a boundary off his first ball. The bowler Podmore had his revenge when Wheater picked out James Franklin at cover to depart for 6, just 3 balls later. But nothing could deter Carberry as he finished with a flourish, 20 from the last over, as Hampshire fell 1 short of the 200 mark. The opener carried his bat and took just 44 balls to record an unbeaten 72. Middlesex would need something special to chase this down.
So that was Hampshire's innings. Now it was the turn of the home side, Middlesex, here at Lords, and opening for them, Nick Compton and Paul Stirling.
It was a disastrous start for Middlesex as Compton went for a 3rd ball duck, offering a simple return catch back to the bowler. Paul Stirling recorded his best ever T20 score against Kent on this ground 3 weeks ago, and he was quickly into his stride, sweeping Will Smith away for 4. Nick Gubbins, making just his 2nd T20 innings of his fledgling career, got off to a great start, whipping Jackson Bird away for 4 through mid-wicket. But the Australian got his line right the next ball, and Gubbins was trapped LBW. Middlesex were in trouble on 9 for 2 at this stage, but stepped forward the informed duo of Stirling and Simpson, and the Lords crowd were enjoying themselves as Middlesex got the scoreboard moving. Chris Wood went the distance as Stirling crashed the first 6 of the innings into the upper tier of the grandstand. A massive hit. The initiative was wrested back as Stirling followed that up with 4 fours in a row, as Wood's second over was worth 24. A hint of fortune about the last of the 4s though, with a thick outside edge, perfectly splitting the field. Middlesex claimed 62 off the power play, almost 20 runs better off than Hampshire at this stage. And John Simpson was in no mood to let up, dancing down the track to thump Danny Briggs for 6, and then following it up next ball with an impeccably placed biff through mid-wicket. Stirling went to his half-century in 24 balls and kept Middlesex on track for an unlikely win. Perhaps the best shot of the innings though was his more conventional one, timing the legs of this cover drive. But the game changed quickly from there. Smith picked up his 2nd wicket when Simpson sent one down long on's throat to break the partnership. James Franklin almost decapitated Stirling with a sweetly struck off drive off the bowling of Yasser Arafat. The Irish batsman taking impressive evasive action to get out of the way. But the Pakistani seamer picked up the big wicket of Stirling. The Ireland batsman having to go for 54, having been caught and bowled. And then Briggs got one to spin as new batsman Andrew Balbini departed for just 3, caught behind by Adam Wheater. New Zealand all-rounder Franklin offered resistance, with Sean Irvine travelling the distance for getting his length throw. Neil Dexter went tamely as Owe Shah pounced a simple catch. Another wicket to the spin of Briggs, with Middlesex 130 for 6, with less than 6 overs to go. Franklin restored hope with another maximum, this time Arafat being lifted over the favoured cow corner region. Hampshire have made finals day 5 seasons running and knew that a win here would lift them to the top of the South Group table. And another wicket went down as Ollie Rayner tried to give Franklin the strike by coming back for a second run that was simply never on. Fantastic work by fielder Will Smith in the deep, and Rayner was well short of his ground. The game was all but secured for Hampshire when Arafat got the prize wicket of Franklin. His entertaining innings were 35, seemingly in vain. And when Harris skewed a catch to Shah at point, Hampshire were 1 wicket away from victory. Carl Abbott's last action for Middlesex before heading off on international duty was entertaining, peppering the supporters in the mound stand with a lusty blow for 6. But with 30 runs required from the last over, it was a case of too little too late for the home side, as Hampshire closed out a 21-run win at the home of cricket to move to the summit of the South Group table. Former Middlesex batsman Owe Shah was named man of the match for his 64 and 2 catches. His partnership with Michael Carberry was key. For Middlesex, they got it all to do after a 4th defeat on the trot, but this was a good effort at chasing 200 against one of the tournament's strongest sides.
I'll take 64 every day of the week in a 2020 game. I'm quite happy just to get a partnership going with Michael Carberry and just get the momentum going back towards our innings after losing a few wickets early. And yeah, I thought it was a very good total of 199.
So another impressive performance from Hampshire. Congratulations for them. They continue their good form at the start of this T20 Blast campaign. And in terms of when Middlesex are next in action in the T20 Blast here at Lord's, Thursday, the 2nd of July. They're up against Sussex. For information on tickets, go to the Lord's website. But before that, they're in action down at Uxbridge. If you want to go to that particular game, it is on the 26th of June. Ticket information can be found at the Middlesex website. So once again, congratulations to Hampshire. Good night, and we'll see you very soon.